I hope you guys are excited for this, the Naruto anime mod for 400 days. As always, if you haven't yet, you should check out the previous parts to catch up with the story so far. And while you're at it, why not subscribe to the channel? We're trying to hit 10K by the end of March. It's free and it really helps me out. Also, just enjoy the video. It takes me and Jiraiya 3 days to arrive where the Toads master Sage power. Jiraiya and a couple of Toads work on getting my Sage mode mastery higher. We make a little progress for a few days when the Elder Toad calls me in for a meeting with Jiraiya. When there, he explains that he received a prophecy. I am to gather a small group of talented shinobi. Together, we will use the powers of all the nature forces and take down Yang Force. I'm to travel around the great ninja villages to find the best of the best. He further explains that I must be careful in who I choose for my team, for if I pick the wrong people, things could go horribly bad. With the prophecy in mind, Jiraiya and I return to the Leaf Village to get a couple of members. We arrive 3 days later, and by now, Shindo has been officially named Hokage. The two of us meet up with him to discuss the matter of the new group we need to form. Obviously, Jiraiya and I are the two first members. We plan on taking Crystal and Melancholy as the next members, but we wanted to get Shindo's approval of this as the Hokage. He agrees and wishes us luck in stopping Yang. We find Melancholy and Crystal in Orochimaru's lab and tell them everything. They both agree to come with us, and we head out the very next day. On our way to the next village, the Hidden Sand, Crystal stops us and asks me a question. She wants to spar with me at full power. She's unsure if she can even be of any help, and the prophecy said that any wrong choices can make the whole plan fail. I accept her sparring match. She puts up a good fight, but with slightly better Sage mode and a Mangekyo Sharingan, she didn't stand too much of a chance. She isn't given much of a confidence boost from this, but I tell her that I was able to fight head-to-head against Scorch Force, a fusion of the two strongest forces after Yang herself. No matter what, if we work together, I believe we can win. We just need to find the rest of our team and all work together. We finally arrive in the Sand Village and are greeted by Lord Kazekage. He apologizes to me for not being able to help save my dad. I tell him not to worry about it. Then he lets us know that the 7th Hokage has sent a message before we got here, letting him know of the situation. He gathered a few shinobi beforehand for us to check out and to see if we wanted them on our team. For a few days, we spar with and watch over the training of the 3 ninja there. One of them catches my eye, a ninja named Pakura, with the Scorch release. We decide that she'll be the one to join our team. We rest for a few days, then head to the Hidden Rain Village next. We arrive after a couple of days, and we're greeted by Go. He offers to help out however he can. I offer to have him join our team, and he accepts. He also tells us that if we wanted more team members, he knew of a few shinobi that had been helping the current Amekage ever since they took down Hanzo of the Salamander. He takes us to the top of a building, and inside are 3 people. Their names are Konan, Yahiko, and Nagato. They formed a group inside of the Rain Village long ago called the Akatsuki, but after they defeated Hanzo, they disbanded the group and have ever since been supporting the Amekage from the shadows. After a bit of discussion, Yahiko and Nagato decided to join our group, while Konan decides to stay behind and help the Amekage. Then, the 8 of us head out to the Hidden Stone Village. We arrive 2 days later and are greeted by the Tsuchikage. She, like the other Kage, knew we were coming, and with her is a shinobi she picked herself for us. He's been working on the explosion core in the Stone Village for years now, and thus has a high affinity for explosion release. She thinks it would be smart to fuse explosion release into him. Datara explains that he only wants to join us so he can further understand the explosive power of his special arts, but he's willing to help take down Yang Force if it means creating new art while doing so. With the Hidden Mist and Hidden Cloud villages on the other side of the continent, our group heads back to the Leaf. It's a 4-day journey, and on the way there, Jiraiya breaks off of our group. He takes Go to the Toad Mountain to train him while we get Datara fused with Explosion Force. I agree and tell him that we'll meet him there when we're done and ready to head out to the Mist Village. Nagato and Yahiko decide to go with Jiraiya and Go so they can catch up with their former master. We arrive at the village. Melancholy and Crystal go with Pakura to find a hotel for her to stay at while we're here. I take Datara down to Orochimaru's lab, where Orochimaru explains the procedure and risks to Datara. He of course accepts, and Orochimaru begins fusing Explosion Force with Datara. Normally the Force would have to either forcefully absorb into the host or accept the host, but Orochimaru has managed to figure out a way to do it himself and make sure the host retains control. However, it takes far longer than the normal methods, so for 10 days Orochimaru was working on the fusion. During those 10 days I trained with Crystal, Melancholy, and Pakura. With Crystal I was helping her with her jutsu speed, physical strength, as well as durability. Melancholy is pretty strong all around. At this point, I'd say the order and strength of the forces would go Yang, Fire, Wind, Water, Yin, Lightning, Crystal, and Earth. Either way, I help Melancholy strengthen her chakra control. She's strong and has many powerful jutsu, such as her Limbo Genjutsu and the Shadow Possession of the Nara clan, but she can't control them very well. Next, Pakura. I don't know much about her other than her Scorch release. I do know, however, if we can free Kevin, we could also have Orochimaru give Pakura Scorch Force. On day 337, I head down to check on the progress of Datara. Orochimaru tells me he's resting now, and the procedure has been completed. Datara rests for a couple more days, then challenges me to a fight. I accept and turn on Sage mode in preparation to fight him. Then, he does the same. He unlocked a new power also, Explosion Sage. We end the fight as a draw, and rest up the next few days before heading to meet with Jiraiya. We arrive a few days later, and immediately Go challenges me. He turns on Toad Sage, and we begin fighting right there. Eventually, he realizes that Toad Sage isn't enough. He summons some help. Zeramasu, Slendobi, and Ibuse, the very salamander that Hanzo used. I take them out, and then he summons Gamakichi and Gamabunta. I beat them too and continue fighting him. His chakra and senjutsu levels are pretty crazy. The fact that he's still going is amazing too, and it helps that he's managed to use his summons to help him continue gathering senjutsu throughout the fight. Beat him after a long-fought battle, and we rest for a bit. Jiraiya explains to me that we should stay here for a bit. He wants me, Crystal, Melancholy, Go, and Datara to focus on senjutsu training. We rest for a couple of days, train for 2 weeks, then rest 2 more days. By day 363, I've managed to push my Sage mode even further than before. I'm calling this Water Sage version 2. Melancholy and Crystal both have unlocked some kind of Sage power, but being the forces themselves, they don't physically change at all. We all set out to the Hidden Mist village, and we arrive 2 days later. The Mizukage is waiting for us. She has a ninja with her. He holds the Executioner's blade. She explains that he's been training to become one of the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist. They don't really have anyone else they can send to help right now, so we accept him on our team, and begin to head to the Cloud Village. But the Mizukage stops us. She explains that after the Kage summit, their Raikage had been hospitalized, and the assistant that was with him was killed by Scorch in that attack. They probably don't have any ninja right now that they're willing to let go of in their current situation. We thank her for the advice, but head there anyways. Go asks why we're still going if we're not going to be getting any members. I explain that Scorch went to the Kage summit looking for me, to take back Kevin's eye. I want to at least go apologize to him for that. 2 days into our journey to the Cloud, the Mist Ninja asks if he could get some training. We agree, and for 10 days we all took turns fighting him and teaching him. Well, all of us except for Datara, who spent the 10 days gathering clay in the area. Still, every night we all bonded, growing closer as a team. We rest for 2 more days and then we continue moving. We arrive at the Cloud Village on day 380. We head to the hospital, but there's nobody there. Assuming the Raikage already recovered, we head to the Kage office. But when we arrive, we're met with a surprise. Scorch Force is waiting here, and not a single person was found in the village.
It's about time. Yang told me you'd show up if I waited here. Not sure why she wanted me to wait instead of taking action. But I'll need to get that eye back now.
He splits up into 10 clones and runs off. Each of us chase after a clone. I activate Sage mode and begin fighting his clone. with the power of Mangekyo, Sage Mode, and 8th Gate, I'm able to beat him again. The clone vanishes, and I head over to help whoever's nearest, even though my Mangekyo drained a lot of my stamina. After everyone completes their fights, we rush over to the last Scorch. This one's the real one, stronger than the others. We get to where he was fighting and we see that it was the Mist Ninja who was fighting him, and everyone gathered together. We get closer to see that he was killed in battle against Scorch. Bringing him was the wrong choice. I should have turned him away at the Mist Village. Now a young shinobi has died for no reason. I'm enraged like when I beat him in the Land of Ice, but I'm also tired this time. He's about to deliver the final blow when Melancholy stops him with the Shadow Possession.
You would think... Stop me. I've broken this before and I'll do it again. Ugh!
The jutsu breaks. All of that training we've done. Also, for nothing? This must have been wrong. This team, I must have messed up somewhere. It's all my fault. He rushes Melancholy, and I can't move. He kills her. I'm enraged but still can't move. Then I feel something. Chakra pouring into my body. A similar feeling to when water force absorbed into me. I look at Melancholy. Is she giving me her... No. I turn around. Crystal is absorbing into me. She tells me to finish Scorch off for good. And after absorbing into me, I gain crystal armor. Enraged, I attack Scorch again. This time back to full strength. No. Even stronger. I beat him down, and just as I go to kill him, I stop. Jiraiya tells me to finish him, but I tell him that I can't. I can't kill Kevin with him. Nagato tells me to do it and to trust him. I hesitate, but then I finish off Scorch Force. I kill Kevin. When this happens, both leap out of the body separate. I use crystal sealing capsules to contain them. Then, before I even have time to mourn the loss of my two closest friends, something weird shows up in the area and shoots something into their bodies. All of a sudden, they both stand up, good as new. In fact, Kevin even has both of his eyes. The three of us reunited at last. But then I noticed that Nagato isn't doing too well. Yahiko explains that he used a massive chunk of his chakra to bring them back to life. He's going to take Nagato back to the Rain Village to rest. I ask if he's going to be alright, but he tells me that there's no way to be sure. With both Fire Force and Wind Force captured, and Kevin returned, we all head back to the Leaf Village. We arrive home after 5 days. We have Shindo help find places for Pakura, Go, and Datara to stay. Then all of us rest for a couple days. We get Kevin caught up on everything that has happened in the village since he was taken. Orochimaru fuses Fire Force with Kevin, this time with Kevin in control. And he also fuses Wind Force with Pakura. This takes the rest of the 100 days, but while that happens, the rest of us train. This brings the Naruto 400 days to a close. We finally captured all of the forces, except for Yang Force. We still don't know what she's planning, and she has yet to make any moves. Hopefully, we can neutralize this threat in the next 100 days. I just want to let you guys know, if you're still watching, of course, I do have a Patreon, and supporting this Patreon will get you access to the server that I'm making, the Naruto anime mod server, and it's coming out February 19th. So you can go to the Patreon now to get your spot. Just know that the server is not for cracked or third-party clients, so you must have at least actually purchased Minecraft to be able to play. It's only a one payment of $10. You don't have to continue doing the monthly payment. That's entirely up to you. But if you cancel the payment after you get the first thing done, just message me first and let me know, so that way, just in case the Discord doesn't automatically update you to the patron role, we can do it manually.